Hello, this is Samadan, and he is on a classic journey to make gold. Now last time we were doing some mining here in Elwyn Forest, just outside of Stormwind. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go on to another area to try some more mining, see if we can get our skill up a little bit higher. We are currently at skill level 52. We'd already learned journeyman mining, so what we're going to do is going to head back to the auction house first and foremost, have a look, see if we've had any sales of anything that's on the auction house from last time, and then we're going to go and see if we can do something with mining. So off we go, next chapter of the adventure. Let's take the shortcut in here and find the mailbox, which is over here. So what do we have in the mail? We have a few... We have something a little bit extra here, some gold and a runecloth bag. I'm not sure whether I should accept that. We also have we have the catfish and heavy leather has sold. We also have sales here of the oily blackmouth, the turtle meat, another gold there, and the large fang. So let's take the expires first. So we have a few little bits of here, 2 gold, 74. Let's check this message. There we go, for your bank. That's very kind of Tank Sinatra to send some things over to me. That's very, very kind of them. I'll use that as storage. Okay, we'll take these. We'll temporarily make use of the gold for now to open up our capacity for our bank. Thank you very much for the starting gold there. So we should be able to have a look here and increase our capacity somewhat onto these. This will cost me 10 gold here for that. Pop that in, and another one here, that's 25 gold, so that's 35 gold total. The next one would cost us 50 gold, so that's 75 gold total, and the next one is another 50 gold. So that's where the gold goes, back to 32 gold here. So we'll drop those in there, and we have a lot of extra space now. We should 10 slot, and we can just replace one of those runecloth ones here with that one. Give ourselves a little bit extra there, and then probably sell that one, I would say. Small silk pouch and a small silk pack there. So we have 10 slots on us at the moment. You could always upgrade a little bit later, but the bank storage would be useful here at this stage. We can put all our ore and things in there, so let's pop that in there for the moment, and then see if we can sell some of these other things. Maybe have a look at doing a TSM group or something like that. So that does make life easier somewhat, just having the extra storage. That wouldn't necessarily been of something I would have done straight away at this point. You could always make a second character and send things over. It does just make our life a little bit easier. It's so nice to see all these people at the mailbox in the auction house. Nice thriving area. This is fantastic. Okay, so let's go to the auction house and see what we have here. Now we can put these on manually, but I think at this point we might be worth making up a group and seeing if we can do something with them here. So let's have a look. Let's open up our groups here. So we have a tailoring bags ones. We'll just make a new group here. We'll call this misc selling, and then we'll add in a number of these things. I want to keep that. Firefin snapper maybe, fish oil. Looking at the price of these, some of these probably not that useful. Fishing pole, keep. Flint and tinder will keep. Spices, I might want to keep for that. That's got quite a nice price on it. The linen cloth. I don't think we currently need a lot with that at the moment. Magic candle, not sure we'll need that one. Melon juice, maybe for later. Mutton chop, that's be useful for fishing. We could take that. We could take the other fish there. Shadow silk is possibly useful for tailoring actually. Might want to keep that one. This one we can try and sell. Got to watch out for deposit fees on those though. I'm going to keep the tiger's eye. I'll pop those in. So this is all our just general stuff. If we have a look at our operation for this, the default operation is usually fairly adequate for things like this. If you look at the items, you can look at the min, normal, max prices for these. The ranges seem to be fairly reasonable here using the default operation. I just might change a couple of things in there. So the default one is 8 hours. I'm going to drop that down to 2 hours. And post cap, I'm going to increase that to maybe 20. And stack size, we'd probably want to put 200 for the maximum for that one. And then the posting price, the bid is at 100%, undercut by 1 copper. And then this checks against all the various crafting DB market, taking into account vendor sell. It's a very generic but catch-all kind of operation that will just work for our purposes here. We'll have a look when we go to post them on and see what it looks like. So with those all on, we can now just go through and run a post scan Now these ones all have the auctioning operation default on them. Let me just check that, turn that one off, done posting. Now I must have done something differently. Let me have a look at this, see if we can debug our issue here. So we are here, groups, misc selling. The base group has the default operation on it. We're going to take that one off so we don't have it on the base operation. We just want it for the misc selling, and this one we will add in the default one there. Let's try that. So what I would expect to happen, okay, so these ones are being skipped, which is what we want. Post scan on everyone else still says none. Right, okay, so let's try a different operation. I must have done something wrong with this default one. Let me have a look at it. So match stack size, no. Ignore auctions by duration. Blacklisted players. Posting 2 hours, post cap 20. So that's the most we'll put in, and a stack size of 200 is the most, the biggest the stack size. Aha, here we go. This is the thing we forgot to post in. Allow partial stacks. So we don't have stack sizes of 200 for this, so we'll allow split stacks of smaller than 200. Turn that one on, and we don't want to keep any in the bags. Okay, that should be enough. And then when below minimum, don't post. When above maximum, we want to post at maximum, and then normal is normal. Okay, that's tweaked a little bit. That should now work. Let's try this. There we go. So what we're effectively doing here is throwing these on at any old price that we can get at the moment. See if we can get some sales, and that will help just build up our gold amount at the moment. Currently sitting at 32 gold. Do we have the scroll macro? Yes, we do. Okay, so those are all going on. Fantastic. Our first set of auctions posted on through TSM. We'll keep all the other bits and pieces, and then we've got a fair amount of space here anyway. So rather than looking for things to flip or other ways to make gold on the auction house, we're going to go and adventure out in the world and collect up some more ore. So in terms of choices, we could have carried around in Elwyn Forest with our mining, but I'd like to go somewhere slightly different from looking at this, because Elwyn Forest is a nice little route, but we're kind of limited on our gold, on our copper vein nodes. We could go further into Red Ridge Mountains. That will give us a mix of tin veins and copper veins. So especially around this area, there's a fair amount of stuff there. We'd have to go into quite a large amount of combat for that lot. So that's a nice condensed area. Tin, I believe, should be available at in the 60s range, 65 I believe it might be. Or we could look at somewhere like Loch Modan, where we can do the copper on this side and then move over to the tin on this side. Let's have a look at our travel options with flying. Not sure how far we've explored yet. Let's go find our friendly Griffin Master. So we can fly over to Loch Modan. I've already got that flight point for my earlier adventures. So I think we'll sit back and enjoy the journey, and then we'll go over to Loch Modan and see if we can do some mining over there. As we're currently level 35, this should still be fairly easy to meet at this point. Once we get to zones where things are going to be slightly harder, then we're going to have some interesting things happening. Oh look, it's raining. Don't see that often. In terms of reputation, I'm already at Honoured for Stormwind and Darnassus. Number and Ironforge, a little bit of work to do on there. Bloodcell Buccaneers already at Hated, and Booty Bay and everything all neutral at this point. In terms of levelling, I'm not sure what would be the next suggested area. Whilst we're taking this flight, let's have a look. So we are currently, where are we, level 35, so we have some options here. 34, we did Thousand Needles, Desolus, Stranglethorn Vale, 36 to 37, another part of Stranglethorn Vale, 33 to 34 there. Hillsbrad Foothills, 34 to 36. Desolus would be the key option here. We're right at the middle of 35. Depends on which area we want to go to, really, looking at that. But I'd probably load that one up as my next option. In terms of map, where would that head us? Oh, look at these small thorium deposits. This is going to be interesting later on, certainly. So you're going to take me over to Menethor Harbour. Desolus is down here, I see. Open Kalimdor, Stone Talon Mountains. We've done all this already. And Desolus starts us off over here, where in Desolus we have copper, we have iron, and we have tin. So ideally we want to make sure that we're at a point where we can start mining mithril, iron and tin in our skill levels. We'll have to look at those on Wowhead or something to see what we can get for that. So if we look at the ores here, so copper is green at 50, tin we can start at 65, and silver we can start at 75. Then we've got iron at 125, gold is at 155, mithril comes in here at 175. So ideally we'd have our skill level up to 175, if not, so we may have a few zones to go to first before we can get to this point. But that's worth keeping an eye on as to what skill levels we're going to need. So we'll keep that noted. We'll carry on with our mining guide here, taking us up to 65, which is our next target. So again, they want me to carry on, currently with the guide, staying around here in Elwyn Forest. We're going to slightly ignore that. We're going to make up our own route around here. Probably go down to this area, try and get some copper here. Depends how contested it is, really. Let's have a look. Already saw some ore over there as I came through, so let's think of our own route. We'll start down the edge here and work our way up and go from there. Right, okay, so don't forget to buff our friendly players. Oh, they have a more powerful one already. We'll do ourselves, and then we'll head over this way and have a look. Just going to up my gamma a little bit to 1.2. It was all looking a little bit dark there. There's our first node over to the north. So the copper is green to us still, so our skill up points are going to be few and far between at this point. But we do have a number of nodes available to us there. Just go to the slightly north, and there's another one over there. There's also another one behind us as well, it looks like. Look at that. Now this is a tin vein. We can't mine this at the moment. We have to come up and around and drop down, I think. Looking at that one, this is something we'll be getting to shortly. It requires mining 65, so we'll carry on our journey without that for the moment. That could be dangerous dropping down there. We'll go around the safe way. I'm sure I saw one in here. Must have despawned. Oh, there it is. Okay, nothing inside. I forget I have a wand. It's so nice to see the dam in its intact state and not destroyed. I miss this place. Okay, fantastic. We've reached level 65 on our mining. We can now mine tin, which is fantastic. The suggestion here, let's have a look once we've finished mining this one. We do have some tin around us at the moment. The suggestion is to head on up to the wetlands, which is interesting. We're nearby there anyway. We can see there's a lot more tin around here. We could do that route, certainly. Let's carry on with our copper and we'll make our way over that way. Now here's our... oh, this is silver actually. We don't have access to silver. Not yet anyway. Looks like we're going for a swim across the lake. Hopefully there's no wee beasties under there. There is some sunken copper though. We'll go for that. This is great fun, doing some underwater mining. This is where having your breath meter going down rather rapidly is a very real thing in Classic. Okay, into the tunnels, down to the wetlands, and let's discover our next journey. Okay, here we are, we're onto the path. Let's follow it along and see what kind of mining nodes we can get in this route. See how long it gets us to 125, just purely through mining. We have options here to smelt bronze bars and smelt silver bars from 75 to 112, but we're going to just stick with mining at the moment. We want to collect resources for later. Here we go, our first tin vein. What's tin ore worth to us? Min buyout 1 silver 64, so still fairly cheap at this point. The real profit's going to come later on once we get some higher end materials. Ah, there we go. We got 2 sales of our small silk packs, 31 silver each. That's going to be very useful. I love that some of these are really difficult to get to. You can't just run up to them. You have to work your way around and find out where you can get some. Okay, so that was one route round. It took us a good old time to do that, and we only got to level 74 out of that. They're so spread apart, all this tin. But hopefully when we get to 75, then we can add in silver. We may have to consider smelting bronze bars out of our tin and copper here, just so that we've got some, and we can skill up here as well. In terms of what we have at the moment, we have a total of 14 tin ore. We've got 204 in total copper ore, 56 in our bags at the moment. We did pick up some nice gloves of the eagle, which we've got a buyout of 1 gold, so that could be quite nice. But in Oh, there we go. We just sold some mackerel, 39 and 19 silver. Fantastic. So let's do another little run around here, see if we can get any more extra out of this. I mean, we could carry on around here. There's a few more scattered around here that might be slightly better going here instead, but to be honest, they're so spread out. We really probably could do with going in here as well. We missed that route afterwards. Maybe we'll have a look inside here, see if we can go around here. This was a bit dangerous up this area. There were some elites around here, so that was slightly scary. Even though they were below my level, there were still elites. Let's have a look in this cave, see if we can get any tin ore in here. And we'll get some incendicite ore here as well, which is kind of, I'm not sure what that's used for, but it is available as a skill up here, and there's a couple more in here that we can make use of. So let's carry on through. It's slightly more dangerous in here, obviously, but with danger comes rewards. Our first silver vein as well. Now that we're over 75, we can mine this. Silver ore's worth a little bit more, 39 silver each. Well, it turns out that cave was actually really good for levelling up your mining. The incendicite ore is only used for a quest, but it's really nice to find a bit of tin in there as well, and you can level up with the incendicite ore at this point anyway. So we'll come out of that with level 84, which is a nice bit of progression. We'll carry on round and we'll try the other area as well, if we can get up there easily. And that is why we enjoy Classic, just helping someone out whilst you're doing your adventures. I need to clear out a little bit of space here. Not sure I have a lot of space here. I really want to sell at this point, so we might have to depends how much more we can mine at this point. Let's carry on down this area, do this final loop, and then maybe head into Menethil Harbour. We can catch a flight from then. Now I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. Rune silver rod and rune copper rod. Going to have to destroy those, I think. We've got this one here. Take out the catapults. Take this tinder. Fight your way to the catapults. Light them with the tinder. Find and kill Necrosh. Oh, that was the one we were doing actually. Okay, we had this quest already. We might as well try and do that whilst we're here. I'm going to have to clear out a lot of these though to get there. Maybe not at this point. Don't want too many distractions. I think as I'm full, I'm going to actually finish up here, and I'm going to hearthstone to Stormwind instead, and then we can always come back here another time. So I think I'll do that instead. We did get up to mining skill 86 out of that, so maybe from there we can maybe go use the silver ore to get us up to 112 perhaps. Anything junk wise here? We could possibly sell a lot of this. Spider pulp is grey. Okay, we've got a fair amount of stuff there. Let's go and pop some of this in the bank. We probably could do with swapping out these bags for runecloth bags and swapping those over. Thinking about it in terms of how much space we ran out of here, whereas we have plenty here in the bank. That's worth considering, at least at this point. Let's take all our ore, our gems. Incendicite ore we might try selling. Briarthorn, all of that we might want to sell. The cloth, I think we might want that as well. Rough stone we've got. Okay, so a nice stack of stuff there. We currently have 204 copper ore, 25 tin ore, a whole load of stone, and a little bit there of 7 of silver ore as well. A few things we're going to throw on the auction house, maybe see if we can sell that incendicite ore. Then we can maybe look at making some copper bars, some tin bars, and make some bronze bars from that, and then maybe smelt the silver ore into bars, 75 to 112 for additional points there. Don't know whether I need the ore or anything at this point. Looking at dual crafting guides online, that we're going to need to use some bars and bronze bars and silver bars, as well as copper bars, as well as the stone. So we may be in a good position here, unless we go prospecting for some of these. Oh, it does look tricky actually. Looking at that, that's going to be something interesting to look forward to when it comes to jewel crafting. Let's go onto the auction house and post a few of our extra things here. Okay, so we're going to go into our TSM. We're going to add some of these things into our misc selling group. So we'll add in Briar Thorn, Bristly Whisker. I'm not sure whether that's going to be useful. Spider Meat maybe. It is quite close to the vendor sell price there. 50 copper. We'll try those. What might be easier at this point as well? I'll do this afterwards. Shadow Silk, Spider, Spongy Moss, Sweet Nectar. We'll add those in. Keep that one actually. There we go. We'll make another group here. We'll call this Do Not Sell. We keep those in our bags. So that one, mining pick, simple wood, the melon juice, the dye and all of those go in there. These won't have a posting operation on them, so they won't get added in, whereas these ones will have the default on them, so we can use that, and therefore when we have things in our group we will just be able to easily select them and post them on. I'll do a scan for TSM. Okay, scan complete. Let's run a post. Let's see what we've got here. Some of these going for some interesting prices here. The Bristly Whisker, I'm really not sure about that one. We'll post it on anyway. Okay, so we have a fair amount there. Let's go sort this out, clean that up. There we go. So we've got now 32 gold, thanks to our kind benefactor and the extra bag space. We managed to do a fair amount of mining in this session, so we are working our way towards getting those skill ups. Probably return to Wetlands. We'll try and do a little bit of smelting here with what copper and tin and silver we have. Maybe find some good markets in there, maybe a little bit we can buy on that front. It's so nice to see a thriving city as well, a thriving auction house. So we'll leave Samadan here for now. I hope you enjoyed this journey, episode 2. I hope you enjoyed this journey. So until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you soon.